sky's black. And you're an objective journalist, and you're not just going to write, the sky is black. You're going to run over, because you know, you've got them in your BlackBerry, you've got their contacts, you're going to call this interest group or party B over here that pays people to have a different point of view, and they're going to tell you the sky is white. Okay? And you know they're going to tell you that. You don't even have to call them. You know exactly what they're going to say because they have a playbook. It's all very simplistic. And you're going to write an objective news story. It's going to say, Party A claimed today that the sky is black. Party B countered that the sky is indeed white. Well, the thing is, you know it's blue. You know it's blue. You know, you have eyes. You can see that it's blue. If you don't write that it's blue, you have lied to the reader. And you've written something unintelligible. What did that tell anybody? That this idiot says it's black, this idiot says it's white. What did the reader gain from that? That is objective journalism writing about politics. You can see those elements that I just described in any conventional mainstream media news story about politics, which is why it drives me nuts, and I get passionate about it, and I get angry about it because it's stupid, and it's emotional. It's based in the whole thing about these two sides is everybody picks a side. You know, and I'm on this side. I love my side. I really hate that other side. And I'm always going to agree with the stupidest thing anybody on my side says. This is the way parties work. And I'm going to disagree with the wisest thing that the person in that other party says. And that is, that's politics today. And I reject all of it. I write about it constantly. So, what else? Who's next?
Queries, how can social media be an effective tool in reporting? What social media platform do you use to deliver news content, like Facebook, Twitter, text?
Not much texting. You know, people your age tend to be really into texting. And I got to think that you're going to get over it at some point because it is a terrible way to communicate. I especially don't understand if you don't have one of these, you know, if you don't have a keyboard. You know, I've tried to text on plain old phones. You know, I don't see how people would stand to do that because of course, I'm used to typing at a very fast pace. You know, but Twitter and Facebook. I was a late convert to using any of that because it just didn't interest me. I was in blogging. That was my electronic medium. And a guy named Tim Kelly, who does some work with a rival agency, Chernoff Newman, and has been a blogger for a number of years, on and off. He was a blogger for a while and quit, blog and quit. He had a blog called Crack the Bell, and he had another one called Indigo Journal. I was actually doing some consulting work for University of South Carolina, working for President Pastides on a 3-month contract, and helping with some communication things. And one day, some people from Chernoff Newman, which does some work for the university, brought over a whole bunch of people to talk to the president about social media. And one of the people that came over was Tim. And it was an interesting occasion for me because I met Tim for the first time at that meeting, and I've known him for 4 years. I've known him as a blogger. I've known him, you know, in the virtual world. And so we met for the first time, and which is kind of weird, you know. It's he vacations at the beach across the street from a place where my family always does, and you know, there's just all these connections, but I never went to them. And I was saying something to him about Twitter or Facebook. I don't have time for that stuff. He said, "Well, you can use it to promote your blog." And I said, "And how do I do that?" He said, "Well, you set it up so that it grabs your headline, every time you post in your blog, and the link, it's on Twitter, and then you set that up so that that automatically posts on Facebook. People think I spend all day on Facebook. I never look at Facebook. Unless somebody tells me that, somebody in my family put up a new picture and I'll go look at it or something like that, I don't look at Facebook. But I'm on there 20, 25, 30 times a day. It looks like to people because I'm tweeting constantly. And the tweets show up as Facebook updates. So a lot of people come to me that way. I believe that, and I just passed 1,000 followers on Twitter. I've been doing that trying to do that very gradually. I just don't want to follow people indiscriminately, and that's how you build up your own followers. I've got about 400 and something people, or institutions I follow, people that, there's something about what they're involved in South Carolina or whatever, or I use them as a news headline alert thing, various news entities. And the 400 so I've got 1,040 or something, I think, followers. That, I'll put those things in, they'll show up on Facebook, and I've got fewer people that I'm connected to on Facebook. But I use Facebook very differently. A lot of people, it's a very social thing, very personal. Not for me. If somebody wants to connect with me and I see there's a bunch of connections or there's something about them that looks like, yeah, well, that's a good reader for my blog, I say, yeah, I confirm them. So I've got like 800 and something. But I don't know those people. There are family and friends in there, but and maybe sometime I'll weed it out and start a different kind of page or whatever. But it has been very useful though. The biggest month I ever had when I was blogging at the newspaper, and I was working hard at it. I was really, really blogging hard, especially during the months leading up to the 2008 presidential primaries. I reached that month, January 08. It's like one week I had 27,000 page views. That was the biggest week, I think. And so, for the month I had like 80-something thousand page views. Last June, on my current blog, which is not supported by any kind of connection to mainstream media or anything else, I had 250,000 in one month. Now that tends to happen, these bumps. Now steadily I'm at like about 170 a month. But you get these bump ups when there is something happening in South Carolina that makes national buzz. I'm not going to say national news, national buzz. The kind of thing that people will Twitter about. At that time, it was alleged scandals having to do with our current government, now our government, and Alvin Green getting there she is, covered Newsweek at about that time, and Alvin Green being just absolutely stunning everybody. Nobody knew who he was, and suddenly he's the Democratic nominee for the United States Senate in South Carolina, and everybody's laughing at us all over the country about that, and laughing about the things that he said about Nikki Haley. We were being laughed at a lot, so a lot of people were coming to South Carolina politics sites, and that's how that tends to happen. The power of that was first really underlined for me, probably in like 2007, leading up towards the 2008